what do you say to people that might have kind of a more negative perspective on reselling and think resellers take from the needy or are greedy? We're rhyming. So, what would be your stance on that subject? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Today we have something a little different. We are out in nature. Yes, it is a beautiful day, and I thought let's switch it up a bit and take a walk and just have a chat today instead of doing the usual. Yes, I'm out here at Fisherman's Beach, is what we call this in my area. It has a really nice creek over there, as you can see, and this leads to Lake Erie. And we could walk there, I guess. I'll take you guys. I feel very self-conscious about recording myself and talking and having people watch me. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But if it does, oh well, we gotta do what we do. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the stigma that surrounds resellers. I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about. The whole bad vibe, resellers are greedy or maybe taking from the less fortunate, etc., etc. I don't know how to explain it really, but it's a thing and we need to talk about it. I am under a beautiful willow tree right now. Look at it. I gotta show you. Yes, I love willow trees. They're so pretty. I hope this lighting turns out for you guys. See? Well, guys, as you can see, I am back home because I had some issues out and about. I did film part of the walk and I made it to the lake and I filmed some of that. So I will share that footage off and on through our talk. I just had the hardest time talking and walking and staying on subject. And then people kept showing up here and there and I felt weird recording myself. So I thought, you know what, Julie? Let's just walk to the lake, walk back, get in the car, and go home. And then we can talk from home. So that's what we're doing, okay? And good thing because I'm comfy now. I'm in my element. And guess what? I got some coffee. I brewed up a pot of coffee, guys. So now I'm all good and I'm ready to go. Feeling great. So this is my coffee cup, a mushroom coffee cup. Isn't it cute? This says on the inside there, see? Today is a good day to have a good day. So, okay, guys, I'm ready to chat. Let's do it. Unnecessary disclaimer. Let me just say it. These are my own opinions, obviously. So, throwing it out there. Not everyone has to agree with me, and that is fine. So, we're doing a hypothetical. Hypothetically, I'm getting asked a question and I need to answer it. And the debate question is, what do you say to people that might have kind of a more negative perspective on reselling and think resellers take from the needy or are greedy? We're rhyming. So, what would be your stance on that subject? Okay. So, I am now answering. And on the pro side of resellers, okay? So, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So, that's how I'm doing this. So if someone were to ask me that, this would be a very long-winded explanation of all that, okay? First of all, there's absolutely nothing illegal or immoral about reselling. No, sir, nothing. We live in a capitalist economy, and that's how it is. All businesses have the same model. You buy lower and sell higher. We are just doing it on a much smaller scale than bigger businesses. I'm not 100% in favor of capitalism. I think it should be tweaked a bit. I really don't like large businesses that just take over and in their path leave a bunch of small businesses out of customers and such. That just sucks. Big, huge organizations, companies, Walmart, that kind of take over and steamroll their way ahead. And there are resellers like that too, unfortunately, that just are greedy and don't have others in mind. They're more after money and getting ahead. Absolutely. But that doesn't represent the reselling community. That's just a small part of it. There are people also that, want to say, oh, you're shopping at thrift stores and taking stuff from needy people. Well, here we go with that. Let's just talk about it. Thrift stores exist for everyone. Thrift stores are there so people that are savvy and like to find a good deal can go and buy stuff. whomever you are. Yes, there are awesome thrift stores that give back to the community, like my local thrift store. They're awesome like that. And it's 100% volunteer, and every dime they make goes back into the community. They help people out all the time. It's amazing. They sell stuff, take the money, put it back into the community. So that's the charity end of it. You shouldn't feel bad at all being in the thrift store buying stuff. Resellers are actually helping the thrift stores if you want to really look at it that way. And I think a lot of us know most thrift stores get so much stuff that a lot of it has to get taken to the landfill. So anyone that shops at thrift stores are saving things from getting taken to the landfill. You're basically helping recycle items instead of going out and buying new items. You're recycling. And that's awesome. We all need to do more of that. So I definitely encourage everyday people, if you're not into thrifting, to try it out sometime. But that aside, another really awesome benefit of a reseller is resellers get items from their local places and then they put them on eBay or whichever platform they sell on. And that is a huge worldwide platform where anyone can get on there and purchase items. And in just the 3 years I've been reselling, I've gotten, can't count the actual number, but people writing me. I've even had a lady send me a card one time telling me different stories about how they were looking for that item forever and they finally found it on eBay and how thankful they are. It just warmed their heart. I hear those stories a lot from other resellers too, so it's really cool. There is very few other ways that people can find vintage, nostalgic items that are no longer available in stores than online. I mean, if you go in the thrift store, it's a crapshoot what you're going to find, you know? But if you go online, the world is your oyster on there. Like you could find all kinds of cool stuff, the specific thing you're looking for. So that, my friends, is pretty awesome. I say that's one of my favorite things actually about reselling. I love that. So obviously, reselling has been going on for years and years and years. When you think of an antique seller, you don't think of someone like that as taking things that other people should have or whatever. You know, antique sellers have been around forever. And how do you think they get their stuff, you know? I mean, seriously, guys, a lot of resellers are just small businesses. That's what it is, you know? So there's no shame in that. Absolutely no shame. A lot of people who might have that negative notion when it comes to resellers might be thinking of this certain type of reseller, and that is retail sabotage. Okay, I'm back. I have a like kimono thing on. If you're wondering, it's later in the day. I had to go do something. But back to the subject at hand, I was cracking up because I watched the end of my last video and I said retail sabotage. It's not retail it's not retail sabotage. It's retail arbitrage. It's called, okay? Arbitrage. It's a weird word. But yeah, and it is absolutely legal, just to say it's legal. Let me set up a scenario so you understand like what I think is crappy about that end of things because I don't want to diss on people that do that. It's certain circumstances. Let's say Target is having a sale on Barbies, a certain kind of Barbie that's pretty popular. They're having a sale, they advertise it, and people know about it, okay? Resellers find out about it and they're like, "Ooh, I could flip this online for a good profit. I'm going to get there, you know, when they open." But at the same time, we got a Barbie collector, multiple Barbie collectors. We got a little girl who loves this Barbie and her mom. And there's various people coming into the Target to purchase this Barbie. The resellers get to the Barbies first, and the maybe first, second reseller grab all that they can, and they are gone. The Barbies are gone. There's no meat on the bone for anybody else, and they have no cares. They are more concerned about money than caring about anyone else behind them in line. Now, sometimes you gotta do you. I get it. Like, there are circumstances where things like this happen, and maybe the reseller doesn't really mean to be rude or anything, but they are low on inventory and this is a good deal for them. So it's not like so black and white, you know? There are gray areas, but I feel like this is probably part of what some people think of when they have a negative view of reselling. In that instance, I can see why people would have that view. The kind of reselling I do is so different than that. I can't really put my head in that space, but walk them out in someone else's shoes. Some people, that's their thing. They like to do it. That's fine. I'm not trying to criticize anyone for what they got to do. I just feel like maybe at times, in instances where you want to be really competitive, kind of chill out a bit, slow it down a notch, and think about others before you just kind of go all in for yourself. That's it. As I already said, it is completely legal as long as you're purchasing an item, you're not stealing it. You're paying the price that store is asking. You have every right to go sell it for whatever price you deem. Being a reseller is a lot of work. I don't think people really realize that too. You're your own boss. You're responsible for everything. You got to purchase the items, you got to take pictures of the items, you got to list the items. Then once you sell the items, you got to ship the items, you got to deal with customers, you got to store the items. You a lot of times have to clean the items. There's a lot that goes into it that people just don't know. And also, I don't even think there could be like a lazy reseller. Sometimes I think that's part of a stigma, maybe. I don't know, because people think, oh, you don't have a conventional job, you got to be lazy or something. But it is owning your own business. It's a lot of work no matter what, and you have to have some kind of determination or get up and go or what have you to be a successful reseller, definitely. And more than anything, this just ties into being a bit too judgmental and prejudiced against people that you don't really understand their lifestyle. And since you don't know the ins and outs of what they do, you kind of see it through your own eyes and maybe judge for whatever reason. Who knows? But most of the time, I feel these judgments hold no weight. And as far as the reselling community is concerned, most all are great people who are really dedicated and hardworking in most situations. So, yes, that's my 2 cents on it. I think I've said enough. I'm probably starting to ramble now, as I usually do. So we will cut it out there. So guys, if you have not been here before, I usually do like bolo videos, I do what sold videos most of the time, and if you like what you see, you can like and subscribe, comment, what have you. Let me know what you think about the subject at hand too. Have you ever experienced any negativity towards resellers? What are your opinions? Feel free to share, guys. And as always, happy hunting. Toodaloo.